The football world has been thrown into mourning yet again with the news of the passing of former Liverpool manager Gerard Houllier. That's how we start the show today. I'm Yemi Adebayo. I bid you welcome to the show. We're going to do our best to take you on a ride across the money-spinning world of sports. Tonight, we're going to be touching up on what's happening on the domestic scene with Osun United and Osun Babes. Just wait for it. We'll tell you what's been going on. Not palatable story coming in from Osun. In the aftermath of Anthony Joshua's successful title defense, he's been receiving a lot of commendation from all corners. We'll talk about that on the show tonight as well. We'll give you a slice of cricket as we move on the show. Today, the draws for the UEFA Champions League round of 16, Europa League round of 32 has been concluded. And of course, we'll give you the fixtures and of course, the implications. One of the implications is that in the quarterfinal, one of Barcelona or PSG will not be there. Of course, and the reason is simple, they're meeting in the round of 16. So that's the outlook of the show today. And we're going to be talking extensively on a whole lot of issues. I just want to quickly go back to what I started with, Gerard Houllier. For those who don't know him, Gerard Houllier was in charge of Liverpool at a time where, it brought a lot of some people say it was the foundation block of all the success that Liverpool had in recent years. It was there before the days of Rafael Benitez. A lot of people fondly remember 2001 when he won the League Cup, FA Cup, and the UEFA Cup. A man who, had his health challenges, but of course lived up to the age of 73. Not bad if you ask me. But of course, Gerard Houllier, remember for a good time, 6 years spent with Liverpool, did amazing things with the club, and resigned, came back, went to Lyon, also came back with Aston Villa at some point, but I guess the health challenge is already taking a toll on Gerard Houllier. And of course, as the tributes are pouring in on the show, we just want to join in and pray that the family, we have the fortitude to bear the loss, and hopefully, there won't be any more casualties in 2020. It's becoming one too many in the world of sports, all right? So that's it. Just felt we should start the show this way tonight, talking about Gerard Houllier. All right, with me in the Lagos studio, of course, on a Monday night like this, Onyemuchi Wachku is with me, deputy news editor of Sporting Life newspaper. Onyemuchi, I want to thank you for taking our time to be with me on the show tonight.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here, Yemi.
All right, so there's a lot to talk about, but let's go. Well, I think it's only fair. Just say something about Gerard Houllier. I think it's only fair. We might not have time to extensively talk about the things that he did, but of course, not the kind of news you thought you were going to get today.
Yeah, coming the heels of the demise of Diego Maradona and Paulo Rossi last week.
Alejandro Sabella.
And, we thought that we spared news of this the kind of tragedy, but what can we say? We are not God, and these things happen. And when it happens, you reflect on the lives of the people who have gone, the memories, and you put it succinctly, Yemi. Gerard Houllier laid the foundation for what we are seeing now. You remember the kind of players that he molded. He tried to build a very solid Liverpool side. He had his health challenges, and at a point, he had surgery. A lot of people were afraid that he could not continue, but he came back to Liverpool, went to Lyon, Aston Villa. But again, these things happen. Yeah. Our thoughts and prayers are with the family.
Sure.
And we know that, I like the way the Europeans celebrate their legends.
Yeah.
Look at what Fulham did for Boba Diop over the weekend. And those are the ways, these are the things we should
emulate.
Emulate. Celebrate people while they are alive and when they die, so that the younger generation will understand the enormity of sacrifice the people have made, and that could also inspire them.
All right, so hopefully we will learn to celebrate our legends while they are with us. And when they pass, we should do something fitting to honor their legacy, honor the sacrifice they've put in for fatherland and sometimes for their country. All right, let's move on the show tonight. Hopefully at some point, our man, Osun Konakman, will join up with us. We'll, have this ride together and hopefully land safely. But let's quickly come home and talk about what's going on in Osun State. Stories about unpaid salaries and, of course, players of Osun United and Osun Babes staged a protest to make known their displeasure about 3 months of unpaid wages. That's the story. And the players, breadwinners of their families and all that, staged a protest just to let the authorities know that this is unpalatable and it can't continue. Of course, surely there are always two sides to a story, that there will be a reason for this, and hopefully we'll get the side of the government to know what they have to say about this. But this is what we have for now. This is what we can show you about what has gone on today. So let's just quickly listen to the critical stakeholders, the key actors in all of this, bear in mind on the situation as it is.
Of our unpaid salary and our salary deduction, sir. So we came here to report to Mr. Governor to help us intervene on this matter. Going to 3 months now, we have not been paid a dime, and some of us are a family as well. We have children at school, and some of our children have been sent out of school.
We are here because of our salary. From 3 months ago, they owe us like what he said, but this is another one. Since October, November, December, now they even owe us our salary. But what we want is that they should help us to pay. They should pay us our money.
Want that first, the allowance is very, very small, which we know from other states. So the allowance is small. They should increase the contract coach. They should. I don't know the reason why they cannot employ them. So we are just suffering, which we are not happy. We want the state government, one, they should pay us our allowance first. Then they should employ the contract coach.
All right, it's all about welfare. The players complain about a whole lot of issues. You just listen to Olalere Akim, Esther Elijah, and of course Joshua Dada. The two guys play for Osun United, and the lady plays for Osun Babes. Whole lot of issues thrown into the fore in there. So issues about salary deduction, issues about coaching staff. You can sum it all up. It's beyond the issue of the unpaid salary, the welfare.
Yeah, it shouldn't always come to this.
Going to the government house, expecting the governor to
his or her wages.
Yeah.
Why are they playing football? They are playing football to earn a living.
Sure.
So we shouldn't see them like people who are not important. When you have entered into a contract, whether verbally or written, as a responsible state government, what you do, what other state governments, what they do is to inculcate the salary into the civil service.
Yeah.
With that, it becomes seamless. Every month, they get their salaries. That is not even the way to run a professional side, but at least they get their salaries at the end of the month. So seeing players complain that they have not been paid for 3 months, it's sad, it's totally unacceptable. And you could look at their faces, their disposition. They are almost frustrated and they are at the lowest ebb. If you are working and you cannot take care of the basic needs of your dependents, the children, your wife or husband, as the case may be, then why are you working? You begin to ask yourself some questions. So I believe in the Osun State government.
Yeah.
The Governor Yetola will respond.
Yeah.
Let's pretend at this level that maybe the governor has not been carried along. Maybe he's not aware.
Probably not aware.
Probably because I've heard, this is not the first time I'm hearing about athletes complaining about the commissioner. For reasons I don't know. But if it becomes persistent, then he has to look at the structures.
Probably step in.
Step in, try to resolve this issue so that it will not become an embarrassment to the state.
Okay. All right. I will leave it at that, and hopefully this kind of issues won't be too frequent. Like I said, always for the sake of balance, there are always two sides to a story, and of course, we'll pursue this story and try to hear from the other side, and just to know what is going on. Hopefully, the authorities will step in as well. All right, let's quickly go on to cricket on the show tonight. International Cricket Council has confirmed Nigeria for key cricket engagements in 2021. That's good to hear. Let's just quickly show you a slide. That's it. Just a key confirmation of that story. In a communication sent out over the weekend, Nigeria was listed as one of the key nations penciled to vie for a space in the ICC Women's T20, that's 2020 World Cup for 2023 to be hosted in South Africa. Nigerian women's team, currently ranked 41st in the world, have been drawn alongside Botswana, Cameroon, Namibia, Malawi, Mozambique, Rwanda, Sierra Leone, Tanzania, Uganda, and Zimbabwe in one of the qualifiers to be hosted by Botswana and is scheduled for October 2021. A spot for the finals of the ICC Women's World Cup will be up for grabs in the Botswana Center. The other event that Nigeria has been listed for on the ICC calendar is the Under-19 World Cup to be held in 2002. Nigeria will be hosting the final qualifying round for Africa. It's going to take place in Abuja, along with Namibia and Uganda. A fourth team for the final round will emerge from the first stage of qualifier. That first stage involves Botswana, Kenya, Mozambique, Rwanda, and Sierra Leone. So they're just going to be busy in 2021. It's good to hear when all of these things happen, and hopefully we'll get something good from all of this. Let's just quickly go to London and link up with our man, Austin Okon-Akpan. Austin, it's good to have you join us again on the show tonight. And of course, you heard some of the things we've talked about. So you're free to jump in on any of the issues we've talked about while you were listening in.
On the show, shout out to everyone watching us wherever they are in the world. It's good to be on the show. Busy world of sports it is, but disappointing stories coming out of Osun State here. We always emphasize the need for proper athletes' welfare on all of our shows and even our sports bulletins, because we believe that taking care of athletes is one important way that you can enhance performance. And hearing those women come out to say that they're being owed salaries and the wages are not paid, it's not good for the development of our women's football in the country. So let's also hope that the appropriate authorities will jump on that and do the right things, because we shouldn't be saying this sort of things, particularly when it has to do with our ladies. They're beautiful in and out, and they give their best whenever they get a chance to do so. So it's very, very important that we also give them the sort of motivation that they will need to do more. Let's bring a discussion to cricket now. I love the story coming from the International Cricket Council. This is what we want to be hearing. 2021 already looking like a pretty busy year for cricket in the country. We've got an experienced World Cup winner in Guru Singha as the national team coach. And part of his job assignment is to ensure the development of the sport in the country, not just lead the national team, but ensure a 360-degree branding in terms of development. That's what Professor Adam Ukwanya, the president of the Nigeria Cricket Federation, told me when I spoke to him about the plans for 2020. 2020 is going on. The ICC is telling us that we will be involved in major competitions in 2021 and even gave Nigeria the right to host one. That's in every sense tells you that they have Nigeria as a good prospect for development of cricket. So it's up to us to do the right things now. We know 2021 will be busy. I love the fact that the women will be busy. They are ranked for the first in the world. When you play more competitions, there's an opportunity for you to consolidate on that ranking and look at the countries that they've been listed with. It tells you that if you go against the likes of Uganda, Botswana in African cricket, Mozambique, Namibia, then you can learn one or two things. So that's pretty good for our women's team. Let's see what they can do out of it. We made history last year by qualifying for the Under-19 World Cup. Remember, Yemi, we said it on our show, that if you nurture or give a 10-year plan for a boy who is 16 last year, in 10 years, it's just 26. So it's time for the Nigeria Cricket Federation to see ways that they can enhance and achieve continuity with that team that went to South Africa for the World Cup.
All right. Thank you for those updates, Austin. Let's move on now. Okay, let me get away with your thoughts on that. Austin, stay with us, and feel free to jump in at any time. Cricket, a very quick one on that. I'm very happy. I'm seeing that we're going to be active in the next few years, not just 2021, in the next few years. And some of the activities of the Cricket Federation these days, it's heartwarming that we're going in the right direction.
I mean, the Federation is quite meticulous. They're organized. And Professor Okwenya, who is the president of Nigerian Cricket Federation, has shown that he's a man of vision.
Yeah.
Like he's full of ideas. Yeah, I mean, 2 weeks ago, we were on this set, when you read the story that they're going to unveil Gurisinka, a World Cup winner, as the coach. And from what I saw, from what I've read, after this very good news, the president has said that they have a plan. So it shows that they know what they are doing. The women are already ranked for the first, according to that story. The men are going to play among the best on the continent. These are practically the ways to develop the game. When these young athletes, both men and women, travel outside the shores of this country, they rub minds with the best on the continent, they pick one or two things. We already have a very good coach. So, we have a very good platform to emerge from Africa. Perhaps, with luck on our side, we could pick that ticket. And when you go to the World Cup, the sky is your limit.
Sure. I agree. All right, let's move on. And still some things to talk about on the domestic scene before we talk about the big one, the one that involves Anthony Joshua. Let's talk about para table tennis. And, of course, after successfully staging the maiden edition, the second edition of the annual Valuejet Para Table Tennis Open is going to begin on Sunday, December 19 at the Molade Okoya Thomas Hall of the Teslim Balogun Stadium. Hundreds of players across the country are already in the Commercial Nerve Center of Nigeria, that's Lagos, for the 3-day championship that is held in collaboration with the Nigeria Table Tennis Federation. And some of the Paralympians are expected some of the Paralympians that are expected to represent Nigeria at the Olympics will also be there. Some of them are already in camp. The ones outside of Lagos have already started arriving because the event usually holds end of the year. So hopefully, this one too, at the end of the day, there'll be good stories to tell. I'm always happy with this bunch of athletes with little or no preparation. They're always making Nigeria proud. And if we can get the preparation right, not just with this competition that they're going to vie in, because to me, this is a good opportunity. It's like a litmus test for their preparation for the Paralympics. And I hope they get other chances as well to do well. But there's no doubt in my mind that, of course, we'll come out shining in this one.
Under the circumstances we have found ourselves, it's difficult to travel outside now because of travel restrictions. This tournament is going to be a national one. And the Paralympians, for table tennis, some of them are already in camp preparing for the Paralympic Games in Tokyo next year. And the ones coming from outside Lagos, are going to showcase their skills and try to see if they can make the national team. I think it's a good one. This is the second edition. And it also shows that when you do something in a transparent manner, the private sector will key in. An airline is sponsoring this. So it puts a lie to the talks that the private sector is
doesn't want to be involved.
No, if you do it very well,
they'll come in.
Transparent.
They'll come in.
And they know that they are not going to, I keep on saying this, throwing
water into the
bottomless
you can't even fetch water with a basket. It's not possible. And nobody wants to do that.
You have to offer something to the private sector. If they are doing something, you have to offer them mileage, show that you are transparent, and they will come. And the Paralympians are better for it. Yeah. These players will be so happy in a year that the coronavirus has truncated almost every activities. Towards the end of that year, there is some kind of hope for them, and get involved in this tournament. Try as much as possible to prove yourself. Let the coaches see you, and you could be a member of the national team.
Yeah, there's going to be prizes for outstanding athletes for the 4 events. That's what the organizers.
Very huge.
Yeah, are saying as well. And among the Tokyo-bound Paralympians expected to complete, we have Iso Ogunkunle and the Commonwealth Games silver medalist Faith Obazwaye. Those are some of the stellar names that are expected to participate in the competition. All right, we need to go on a break right about now. Osun Konakman is still with us. And when we return from that break, we'll be talking about Anthony Joshua and, of course, what happened today. The draws for the round of 16 in the UEFA Champions League, draws for the round of 32 in the UEFA Europa League. Join us. All right, welcome back. Let's just go straight to what happened over the weekend. Anthony Joshua successfully defended his title against Kubrat Pulev. A lot of people saw Pulev at the weigh-in and some of the things he said, tried to rough up Anthony Joshua. A lot of people started having goosebumps, started doubting doubting what they know about Anthony Joshua. But let me come to Oyewuchi. Did you, I mean, I don't want us to dwell too much. It's a victory for Anthony Joshua. There are a lot of stories from it. But I mean, it's only fitting that I ask you, did what Pulev did at the weigh-in, did he in any way change your opinion of the possible outcome of that bout? Because he looked ready, he looked vicious, he was, I don't know.
No, it didn't.
It didn't.
You know, these are mind games. And,
Okay.
These guys are top professionals. They are used to, I mean, this kind of situation. During weighing-in, sometimes they even try to exchange, punches. And I like the way Joshua, his approach.
Yeah.
Even after the fight, he posted something on his Twitter handle. He said, "Less talk and more action."
Yeah.
You know, so you saw the way he came into the ring, very focused, very determined. In fact, you could see blood in his eyes. And he has learned a lot from the loss to
Andy Ruiz Jr.
Ruiz. And you don't take any boxer for granted. And the way he approached in the first round, you saw that both boxers were very cautious.
Yeah.
They didn't want to throw, trying to size up each other. They didn't want to throw everything into the fight. Then in the second round, third round, the momentum picked up.
And all the way from there.
All the way. And he was winning almost all the rounds before he knocked out Pulev in Nitro. So I think he lost weight. He has a longer reach. And, I mean, he remained focused until even after the fight, Pulev was still trying to be, aggressive. He stayed cool. He was very cool. He was calm. He knows what he wants. And I think ultimately his target is to fight against Tyson Fury.
Okay. I can already imagine Austin smiling, But let me talk to Austin. Were you surprised? I must confess, I thought he got under AJ's skin at the weigh-in. At some point, AJ was trying to throw, well, maybe it was all mind games, but I was a bit ruffled, I must say, even though I'm not supposed to give my opinion, but I just had to do that. But your thoughts before the bout and after, did you think there was anything to the altercation at the weigh-in? Did it change your mind?
No, it didn't. All of the drama we saw the way in was probably just at the end telling the boxers, look, these guys have missed boxing and they're not talking about this fight. Can you guys give them something to talk about? So they wanted to, put some words out there. And I think they did. But come on, Anthony Joshua, calm guy, organized. Right there, he told Pulev, no, not today. You're going to see the real deal tomorrow. And yes, Pulev felt it. We expected him to be a bit heavier, and he showed in the weigh-in. But he still kept that athletic, physique that we saw from the fight against Andy Ruiz. Just got a little bit heavier, but he was still able to move himself. So he's trying to understand now that every fight is not the same. And so I think his team, they're trying to, make him that boxer that you will not be able to predict. They just see the uppercuts he was landing, sometimes 4 at once. And when he was asked that, come on, Anthony, what's going on with this new love for uppercuts? He said he's been watching a lot of boxing greats, and then he's trying to, do your research on a lot of top quality boxers, and then you try to redefine yourself into one of all of those fantastic boxers that we know way back. So that's the Anthony Joshua we're beginning to see. Right after the victory against Pulev, boxing fans in the UK are champing at the beat of Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury. And you could see right there, right after the match, the post press conference, that's all they're asking. Everybody wants to see Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury. And a lot of followers of Anthony Joshua. I used to be in that ship, we come out and say, no, you can't go against Fury now, blah, 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 and all of that talk. He's the heavyweight champion of the world. Fury in his own right too is a champ. If they come out to fight, they're both going to prepare for that sort of fight. Fury stopped Wilder, and a lot of persons are shocked. When Ruiz stopped Joshua, we were shocked. Yemi weren't too shocked when Otto Wallin gave Tyson Fury a blooded face. Fury was so close to losing that fight. If he had lost that fight against Wallin, he wouldn't have gone on to fight Wilder. So that's heavyweight boxing for you. Anything can happen. But I love the momentum that Anthony Joshua is having at the moment. And he's got a very organized team. They're looking at him and see how he can get better fight after fight. They hate the fact that what happened in America with Andy Ruiz happened, but sometimes that's what you need to keep your champion mentality. And I love what I saw with Anthony Joshua. You mentioned from round 3, he started going. Remember, he slowed down in round 6 and 7 to monitor the fight again, put in the mindset of Pulev that he can come back. And when Pulev was beginning to think, it was game over.
All right, Austin, let's hold on before we start talking about Tyson Fury. I think it's only fair that we enjoy the moment. Let's just enjoy it. A lot of people want to enjoy the moment. I mean, Anthony Joshua's family in Ogun State, and the fans enjoyed that moment, and they had exciting things to say. Let's just see clips from that before we begin to talk about what Anthony Joshua's next move is going to be. I mean, it was a buzz. There was excitement in the air before and after the fight. And as the government promised, I mean, viewing centers and all that, there's a beehive of activities. Let's just listen to some of the guys who spoke, some from the AJ family and some boxing fans, what that victory meant to all of them.
Because Pulev is a tough fighter, so everybody was nervous, and we had cold feet, but we are happy that he became successful at the end of the fight. We are happy. I came here to show the viewing match for the fans, and the home-based fans are different from the worldwide fans. We are home-based, so this is where it starts. This is where it's most important, even to AJ himself. This is why I always try to make sure we show it to the people in Njokun here. So everybody was excited and everybody had fun until this morning. As you can hear from my voice, I have not even slept because it was so much excitement and so much screaming.
Very, very excited. This is our own glory. The glory of late Papa Adebambo Joshua, and the glory of Shagamu, and the glory of Ogun State, and the glory of the whole Nigeria.
If you're looking for the definition of excitement, that's it, right there. Excitement. I mean, what else can we say? A lot of people love Anthony Joshua. He's admired, respected by almost everybody, and it's good to hear. And we'll see what's next in line for Anthony Joshua. We have a lot of ground to cover. Let me just leave it at that. We could go on and on and on. There's been a lot. I mean, Austin also alluded to that. Immediately after that fight, boxing promoter Eddie Hearn had some things to say. Boxing world surely wants to know who is the best heavyweight. And the only way to determine that is to have the two boxers that currently have the belts to fight so that we can have an undisputed champion. What we have now is a unified champion and a champion that has not lost at all. But we want to see who really is the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Let's listen to Eddie Hearn talk about the possibility of making that fight happen.
I can't make it clearer from our side. Everybody wants the fight. It's the natural fight. There's nobody on the team that doesn't want the fight. I think that sometimes you let emotions get in the way of screaming and shouting and calling out fights, and AJ's not the kind of guy that's going to scream and shout people's name. We know he wants the fight, of course. I'm going to keep stum and just tell you that it's my job to deliver that fight next, and I'll do everything I can to deliver it, and we should start that immediately.
All right, come back. I wish you let me go straight to you. You know, when Tyson was the heavyweight champion, there were talks about, especially when he came back from prison, there were talks about the guys in his corner preventing him from fighting some of the best because of fears that he might lose. I mean, there were those rumors. How true it was, I don't know. There were those rumors. And you're listening to Eddie Hearn from AJ's corner, boxing promoter, maximum gain. I mean, it serves him for AJ to hold those belts. And so, I don't know. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate. You listen to Eddie Hearn, do you think in his mind he would want to see him, I mean, the next fight be Tyson Fury, or he would want AJ probably fight someone else, stay as champion for as long as you can, then if he's unavoidable, then go on and fight. I'm just trying to play. I'm not saying that's what it means, but I'm just saying, do you smell that? Do you think that will be on his mind?
Well, a lot of intrigues and underhand tactics, politicking usually goes behind the scene. And but I believe Eddie Hearn and AJ would like to fight
straight away.
Yeah,
straight away.
Because Anthony Joshua also said that he's ready. He's been hearing a lot of rumors, people saying he can't do it, that he's ready to fight Tyson Fury. And Fury is ready. So why wouldn't the fight hold? I mean, the coronavirus truncated a lot of things. Perhaps the fight would have been held.
Probably.
It would have been held before the end of this year. But now that professional boxing has, picked up, AJ has fought, he has won. I mean, what is holding them? So for me, I think that is the only way to show that you're a true champ.
All right.
A champion should not run away from fights.
Beat whoever is put in front of you.
Beat whoever who comes and remain the undisputed world heavyweight champion.
Okay, all right. Osun, I have to come to you now, and I don't know, you're right there in the United Kingdom. You probably hear things we don't hear. I mean, know some of the things we don't know. I mean, is there any possibility that, during the Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua debacle, eventually we didn't get to see the fight, but there were talks in the Wilder corner that these guys are just talking, they're not sincere. In this case, do you think that the next fight the AJ camp would want will be this Fury fight?
I think that's everything profitable for them, If you look at the AJ and Wilder deal, there were a lot of things to consider that didn't make it happen. Though Eddie Hearn claims that they signed the deal and that the Wilder camp didn't sign, there were also talks about venue, where is it going to hold. Now with Tyson Fury, it's an all-British affair. So it's going to be at the Wembley Stadium, or are you going to the Principality Stadium in Cardiff? No, venue will not be a problem. And then in terms of commercial value, it will be very good for both teams. Bob Arum would want that fight. Eddie Hearn wants that fight, but I get where you're coming from in terms of ensuring that Anthony Joshua gathers more fights into his experience before he fights a fighter as Tyson Fury. But then again, I'm saying this is heavyweight boxing. Anthony Joshua has made it clear each time he's asked, who do you want to go against? He says, let's ask the fans. The fans are the ones following the sport, so they should tell us what fight they want to see. Do they want to see Joshua Wilder, or they want to see Joshua Fury? I don't forget that the heavyweight category is so competitive now. There is one quality fighter called Alexander Usyk that is just waiting to see when he's going to get a chance at the big world title. So Anthony Joshua is just that calm guy who is letting Eddie Hearn do his job. And then when a deal is signed, he's just going to get into proper conditioning with his camp and see how he's going to approach that next fighter. Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua would be a fantastic fight for heavyweight boxing because it will put to rest a lot of the debates that we're having at the moment. I think they won that fight, but there are a lot of technicalities, in the background that we won't know about that might slow down such a deal. But 2021 looks like we're going to see a very big fight. Either we see, for the right money, Joshua Wilder, or for the very fantastic offer, Joshua Fury.
I guess I just have to leave it at that because I would have wanted to say, what about the issue about the pause? Who's going to get the larger pause? Is it going to be, a lot, but you say a lot of technical issues. I'll resist the temptation to continue. Let me pause. Another big thing that happened today, UEFA Champions League. Guys, let's go straight into that. UEFA Champions League today, let's show you round of 16. There's also the Europa League as well, but we'll start with the Champions League, top of the bill. Let's see what's going to happen in that one. Like I said earlier, it's going to be end of the road for either Barcelona or PSG. One of them will not play in the quarterfinal, and the reason is because they're facing each other in the round of 16. Guys, I'm going to go to you. 16th February and 10th of March is when the two-legged affair is going to take place. Leipzig will take on Liverpool. Porto will take on Juventus. Sevilla takes on Dortmund. I want you guys to look at all of these fixtures and quickly sum it up for me. Lazio will take on Bayern. Atletico will take on Chelsea. This is one of the games that looks like it's going to be a very tough one. All right, so those are the round of 16 fixtures. Borussia Mönchengladbach will take on Manchester City. Atalanta will take on Real Madrid. Oyewuchi, any of these fixtures? I mean,
these are mouth-watering fixtures. I mean,
all over.
Barcelona versus PSG. Barcelona are not having a very impressive season. They are also having some financial crisis, asking players to take pay cuts so that the
political turmoil on the background.
But you know, at this stage, professionalism is at stake. The players know what is at stake, so they could leave aside all those issues and try to get over PSG. But I mean, PSG are a very strong side. They got to the final last season, and look at what they have done during the group stage. They have the players, they have the depth, and the character is there. So it's just a question of, you know, coming to the party on the day of the game. Then Atletico Chelsea, I mean, Chelsea fans would have wanted another opponent. Because Atletico at the moment are looking unstoppable. So, but Chelsea too have been able to show that they have character in the games that they have played, not excluding the one they lost recently to Everton. So these are very great games. I mean, you can't get it better than this at this level.
All right. Okay. Let me get Austin's thoughts quickly, because we have to talk about the Europa as well. Which one of these fixtures jumps at you? Or which you said, I mean, almost everything is exciting, and I do agree with him. But if you were going to tell somebody to see any of these games, which one would it be?
I love the upset on the upset guy. So potential banana skin for Liverpool in that fixture against Leipzig. They must be careful. I'll say it again. Liverpool needs to be careful because Leipzig can hurt them. All the bookmakers will come out and say it's going to be an easy walk for Liverpool against Leipzig. But hey, football, time and time again, has shown that you cannot tell the way it will go. Can Lazio believe against Bayern Munich? It looks tough, but what we've seen in the UEFA Champions League, anything can also happen. Barcelona, with all of their worries, the players understand that to keep their relevance, they must do well in Europe. And this is the competition where you need to, show that status. I've picked Sevilla in a way to stun Dortmund. Yeah, when I was being asked that, I think Sevilla can do something. They need to believe they are that kind of team that can get those results when you least expect them to. So let's see what they can do. As for straight wins, you pick Manchester City easy over Borussia Mönchengladbach. You pick Real Madrid having it easy against Atalanta. Well, hey, what do we know? What do we know about football? So let's see. These are the guys that have made it to the round of 16. I think football will give us the right answers at the end of the day.
Down and go to Europa League quickly, and we're pressed for time. And let's see how much ground we can cover. Let's take a look at the fixtures now. A lot of senior boys have dropped into the Europa League. Tottenham will face Wolfsburg. Real Sociedad will take on Manchester United. Benfica will take on Arsenal. Slavia Prague will take on Leicester City. Dynamo Kiev will take on Club Brugge. Royal Antwerp will take on Glasgow Rangers. Salzburg will take on Villarreal. Granada will take on Napoli. Hopefully, Victor Osimhen would be ready by then. So these are some of the selected fixtures. Of course, it's round of 62. Round of 32. A lot of interesting fixtures. Maccabi Haifa will take on Shakhtar Donetsk. Lille will take on Ajax Amsterdam. And Olympiacos will take on PSV Eindhoven. Too many matches to talk about. Just too many. But your take quickly.
Yeah, the ones that have Nigerian interest.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, Kelechi Iheanacho, Wilfred Ndidi, will play against Slavia Prague that has Peter Olayinka. Olayinka has done so well. You could argue that Slavia Praga in a country that is not as rated as the other countries, but he has shown consistency, and perhaps because of the depth we have in that area, he could have made the national team. Then we also have Leon Balogun and Joe Aribo in Rangers. We wish that all of them well, but I think the peak of the pack should be Benfica, Arsenal. I mean, Benfica, they are European giants. They have won this competition before, even the UEFA Champions League.
All right.
I mean, Arsenal are not doing so well at this moment, but they've got a lot of pedigree. They have done so well maybe in the past, and this game should be an exciting
game for them.
All
right. Okay. We're about to wrap things up. So, Austin, not much time to talk about the Europa League, so let's just leave it. Your parting shot, Gerard Houllier, former Liverpool coach. In a minute, if you can do that, I'm going to be very happy. I mean, was not the kind of news we wanted to hear, but 2020 claims another casualty.
I know, sad. God bless his soul, Gerard Houllier. I think one of those coaches that brought about some level of tactical discipline. And I think Liverpool's popularity for some persons was when, Houllier was in charge. It's sad that we've lost another one in 2020. When the news broke, I was like, oh, not again. But we pray that God will bless his soul and then give his family the fortitude to bear the loss.
All right. Thank you very much, Austin. That's a good place to leave it. Thank you for your time on the show. Hopefully we'll do this again, maybe sometime later in the week.
Thank you, Yemi. Thank you.
All right. Oyenwuchi, it's time to wrap things up on the show, but I'll let you have your parting shots. I know you talked about Gerard Houllier earlier, but I don't know if there's still anything else you want to remember the man by. I mean, I remember what he did for Liverpool that year that he won the treble, even though his own treble didn't have the UEFA Champions League.
Yeah, I also remember that he was in charge when El Hadji Diouf joined Liverpool. I mean, he encouraged a lot of African players. He signed El Hadji Diouf. And a lot of players, developed under him.
Under him, Gerard, Steven Gerrard, Michael Owen.
Yeah, he will be remembered for a lot of things at Liverpool. And our thoughts and prayers are with the family, like we said earlier.
All right, so that's it. That's a wrap on the show. But first, I want to thank Oyenwuchi Wajik for his time. Always a delight having you around.
Always a pleasure.
All right. Thank you as well for allowing us to be a part of your day. We enjoy doing this. We're back here again tomorrow. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.